welcome guys. Today I'm saying what is the best classes and what you should use them for. So basically first, I'm using the arsonist, and this class is the best only if you use it for making fire or you like to use fire. Also, this is also good with kerosene because it makes fire more stronger. Also, by the way, if you have arsonist, it's probably because you like ranged weapons. Yeah, it's still loading for the classes. And right now, the arsonist is also cheap. So if you have enough for a miner, do not buy that miner one. It actually kind of sucks. The reason why, because the pickaxe, it's just exactly like a shovel, and it only can mine like gold nuggets and small coal ores. Now, basically, since you can only get those stuff and have a headlamp and 2 coal, it's not very good. The headlamp is good for if you can't see at night, because normally most people die in the night in deadrails. So basically, you just have to have a headlamp and see anything. Now let's see the classes. How the hell is this still loading? So basically, the miner, do not buy it. Just try buying the arsonist. With the arsonist, you have to also be smart with the arsonist, because arsonist, you only have 4 multilovers. You can clear out 1 town with maybe like 3. So if you're an arsonist, it says that arsonist can also get 2 times fire damage. That means you can use like 5 more multilovers, because if you're like a nun class and you have like 4 multilovers, you're actually still different from arsonist, since you take fire damage and arsonist is immune, like completely. So basically, all you have to do with arsonist is have double fire damage with the multilovers. So it's better to use the arsonist if you buy multilovers. But it's also, some people also call it motorloaves, so that's actually the real pronunciation. Okay, this is gonna be loading a long time. So basically, since we can't see it with classes, also doctor class. Doctor class is a life-saving class. Also good for some combos. Like example, the Packmaster. Packmaster always takes damage to tame wolves, and might take damage while he watches their wolves attack the town, unless he has an own weapon. The doctor needs to heal the Packmaster at all cost. And other ones, like High Roller, yeah. You can also use snake oil and sell them. High rollers can get more money, and you should get more snake oils and bandages too if you're a doctor. Since if you don't have any bandages, all you have to do is just literally actually, you can't get bandages unless you go to a safe zone or buy it. Yeah, buy in the safe zone or find it somewhere. If you can't find it, like, and you're stuck somewhere, like, you have to use your passive ability to heal people with half your health. Yeah, basically, if you literally have half health right now, and you just sacrifice your own life to heal someone else, that's probably mean that they have to find a bandage for you, or if another doctor is alive and you have full health, they have to use the half health to help save you. Now basically, This is also better than musician. Musician, if you want to rate this class, you should put it below none, because it doesn't start with a shovel, and the banjo, it doesn't heal itself and it slowly heals people, which is not very good for healing. Although, even though you have a musician, it's recommended not to buy this. If you buy this, and then that's the only class you have, that means you should probably play with a lot of people. And if you just want to do like a pacifist challenge, healing people. But basically, if you don't like this class, or it's actually my opinion, so if you actually also think it's kind of bad, you just use none for now and ask people to give you some stuff, or you can also get and save some bonds for new classes. Now, these new classes can also be a lot and expensive. Also, let's see about the ironclad. Ironclad is the most expensive, and it should actually be good if it was cheaper, like 35 or something. Now, if it was 35, people would mostly use it because it's like a tank, like a person like a tank. So a strategy to use it is when it's actually only good if you have teammates. So when the teammates, like a cowboy or a arsonist, the cowboy and arsonist is trying to hide in the train first. Then you try to get the enemies to a specific spot. Then the arsonist throws the mortar lovers, and the cowboys just try to shoot all of those entities. Now, that's a good strategy for ironclad. However, if you have 100 bonds, this might destroy all your bonds and just waste a class that you need teammates on. And also, let's also talk about none. None is actually a test of raw skill. It's like if you want to do challenges, or you want to do like a YouTube video if you're a content creator, or you just want to do challenge with your friends, or you're just starting playing, or you just like to use scorched earth mode. Now, or if you just forget to use another class. Now, let's go to the necromancer. Now, necromancer is just like none, but it has the jade sword. Now, basically, it's just like a person, a class like none that instead of a shovel they have a jade sword, but it works differently. They have 25% chance to reanimate an enemy and work for them. Now, it's a lower chance, and they can do any weapon as long as it's melee. If it's not melee, it probably won't work right now. And necromancer has to sacrifice 10% of their health to actually reanimate the enemies. Now, this class will suck if you don't have a doctor or you don't have a jade sword. Now, let's go to another class. The milkman. Milkman is only good if you find milk in houses or towns. Example, you start with a bottle of milk and you just have to put it all on your body, like, and all you do is just go faster and have stronger damage, like 4.5 times, but you have to have a lot of covered in milk. Example, if you are covered more with milk, like 100%, you would be like OP, but it might not last long. So if you have like 1,000 bottle of milks, yeah, you'd be very good at this game if you use the milkman. Now, next class. If you have the next class called werewolf, this is extremely good if you have a mining helmet, because this class is good for night. Because mostly, some of you guys always die in the night. So basically, werewolf is an OP thing you have to use in the night. And if you also need to do most things in the day, well, you have lower speed in the day or something, and their stats are reduced. So if you always like the night and you want to do speed run in the night and basically you have trouble in the night, you can use this class, but always use a headlamp because you're always going to be in the night using this class, and you have to see better because the night is very dark. Now the night class is called vampire. This class can be very annoying if you're new to the game, and solo. If you are solo with vampire, it's recommended to be in an armored train or cattle car, because this one takes damage in the sunlight. So you have to use like a metal sheet or newspaper above your head. If you're almost about to die, you have to use a doctor class, and you have to use the vampire class together. If you're using solo, I think this class is not very good unless you're paying Robux for everything. Now, if you're not paid to win, you have to have a doctor as another person. So basically, that's what vampire is. Also, let's go to offensive mode in vampire. Vampire has faster speed, so basically you're pretty much faster, so you can go faster to your train. It's just in case you're far away from your train. And you also have like a vampire knife, which is like life steal. And life steal is when you kill an enemy, you get health from the entities you killed. Now this is actually very good. Also, vampire stop getting damage from sunlight if you touching blood. Like, I don't know what blood, like maybe outlaws or unicorn blood or zombie blood, but whatever blood, that's might work. So let's go to the new classes. Now the new classes are basically, let's say, conductor. Now conductor, he is the best class for speedrunning because you get 2 calls, so yeah, basically you can be super fast. If you're speedrunning and solo, recommending use this class, but you may not have any weapon. So if you have like a person who has an actual weapon and they don't need it, ask them to drop it for you. And now you also have faster speed in the train, so you can speed run faster. And then let's see the other classes. So basically, the Alamo has no downsides or has no abilities. Also, the Ironclad has lower speed, if you didn't know. Now, the Alamo is good for defending your train, but if you already have an armored train, just block the windows that doesn't have turrets. But if you block the windows that have turrets, that means you maybe not use the turrets at all. Now, also, you can use the barbed wire to fend off those dumb zombies, because barbed wire is also very good. And you get 3 sheet metal, and that's only good for defending your train. So you recommend this to use it in teams. Let's go to a different one. Basically, this is pretty much loading, so yeah, we'll just reset character. Unless we can't, we have to leave the experience. Now, also come back to this experience. There's also a lot of classes. Now, if you use like a cool class like President, this class is not very good for yourself, and you need a doctor and a lot of Robux. So you have to die so much times, and you need someone to revive you, because if you die, a soldier spawns and helps you defeat other entities. However, I don't think this is good if you're alive and solo. If you play this solo, it's only recommended good if you are having Robux. Now let's go to High Roller. High Roller, you get money bags for a little bit more, and you're struck 10 times more likely, and you just get a shovel. But it's also pretty cheap. Now let's go to the Cowboy. Cowboy has no abilities and no downsides. It spawns with a revolver and shovel and saddle and a horse, tamed horse, and a revolver ammo 2 times. It's basically like what a real cowboy does. And that's all it has. Now, Tycoon. Tycoon, not many people use this. Gain improved melee and weapon damage and improved max health. Capped at $200. 2,000 actually. So basically, when you have more money, you have like more melee and weapon damage and improved max health. Pretty much if you play like Tycoon games, this is probably what normally happens. Now zombie, if you're in a tier list, I reckon put this below none. It has a shovel, but has to eat dead bodies to replenish health. Now, I know zombies are easier to find than bandages, but zombies may not heal you much. So, if the snake oil, zombies can't make you faster. So, snake oil and no bandages, yeah, it's pretty much kind of useless. But if you're less detected, yeah, you can be very sneaky and try to kill them and eat them. Well, this is if you're also don't like nasty stuff, do not use the zombie. Also, there's a survivalist. This is very great if you're using for solo and teams. The lower health and the more damage you do. You also get a tomahawk. Now, example, someone is near you and you also have an entity in front of you. Example, like a werewolf, and you have low health. Example, you have using a tomahawk, and you suddenly have very low health. Then you can just do so much damage and kill the werewolf. Now, basically, that is the best. Prius. It is an arsonist, but way better. Immune to lightning strikes because it is like the arsonist, but they use lightning, so it's immune to lightning strikes, but doesn't do double lightning damage, and no lightning rod. Now basically, and crucifix, shovel, and holy water. Holy water is like Motoloves, but they do lightning damage, but they have 2, and they have 2 crucifix, which crucifix can one-shot enemies, but they only have 2 of them. Important if you have a big boss. Now, if you're doing to the president, we already talked about this, so let's skip it. So now, the hunter is also a lot of good ones. But the hunter spawns with the crossbow and bear traps. But if you are playing with the Packmaster will probably even play with you, because how the hell can they tame a werewolf? So if all werewolves leave werewolf, a crossbow is also very bad in a bear trap. Yeah, it's like a landmine, but it's just like a melee, not exploding. Now, Ironclad, we also talked about this. King. no one will actually use this. Gain more max health and damage the more teammates play as a knight. And if people don't use a knight, the king is useless. Now the knight spawns with the sword, helmet, and torso. Pretty much like a knight. Has a sword and a chestplate and helmet. Yeah, pretty much not bad. But if you demolitionist spawns with 4 landmines and a gunpowder barrel, immune to explosive damage. This may be good against entities, but your teammates might also die. But this is also good if everybody is using demolitionist. It means you can make a bomb party and make a trap with a lot of landmines, and when there's a big boss, you can use these gunpowder barrels. And you also have a shovel just in case all your weapons are gone. And that is actually basically all of the classes inside the game. Basically, we also have other updates coming up in deadrails, and I don't know when they're coming out and what classes are in there. Now, if they have new classes, I'm gonna be explaining this in another video. See you next time, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.